Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks,
This is Ito,
and we are the
the
Carbon
carbonation conversation.
Conversation. And we are starting off with a review of Daredevil 2025 Born Again, episodes 1 and 2. But before we get into that, how you been, sir?
Been all right, been all right.
All right, cool, cool. So I guess before we dive into this series, do you want to say anything about Daredevil? I know you were a huge fan of Charlie Cox and the Netflix series that spent
Right.
off into the Punisher. I think you were a solid fan of all the Marvel Netflix shows.
Just about
Yeah,
until
Iron Fist,
yeah,
debatable. I think
yeah,
everybody says that, but for the most part, you were a big fan. You put me on to the Daredevil on Netflix actually, and I have nothing bad to say about it, obviously. But
yeah. I was, into Jessica Alba, Luke Cage. That was all around the same time and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Do you say Jessica Alba?
I mean, you know what I'm talking
I was like,
about.
someone you must have recently seen the movie or something she was in.
Nah, not even. I don't know.
That was just funny. Uh, but um, but yeah, I will say, obviously, since then we've pretty much been talking about. At least I've been talking about the same thing, and
Yeah.
this is what I'm about to say before we even get into this.
For the darkness
Yeah,
here.
do your thing, sir. For me, superhero movies, superhero things, I treat them kind of like regular movies now. It was exciting back in the day when we used to get our superhero, and obviously everybody usually agrees that Endgame was like the penultimate. That's as high as we are probably ever gonna get, when it comes to superhero movies. But now, as always, me at least personally, I'm looking for story because to be honest, if I just wanted to see action, I could just watch an action movie. If I wanted to see great martial arts, which Netflix Daredevil was, I mean, they had some of those single shots where it was just like, wow, the
Oh
hallway
yeah.
scene and all of that. So I was really, really, and I have been judging Marvel movies. I think, to be honest, the best recent Marvel movie I can remember has to be. Ugh. I would say it's a toss up between maybe Doctor Strange, Wakanda Forever, and Spider-Man No
Yeah.
Way Home. I mean, I like Deadpool, but I liked it for what it was. It wasn't like anything game changing. I thought it was cool to see Wesley Snipes. I was like, hey, that was
Yeah.
shocking. But yeah. But anyways, let's talk about episodes 1 and 2. What did you think?
I like them. It's a solid start to the season and stuff. Only thing I will criticize was the some of the CGI used in the fighting scene.
Oh, okay.
You know
Oh.
what I mean? But they try to make them look a certain way. Besides that, it was still scenes were great, the fighting scenes, but like the CGI kind of like poked out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. It's interesting because I did like them both. If I had to choose, I think I like the second one better. And I
Yeah,
think the reason because it's like the second one was more slow pace. It was like a story base. Obviously there were still multiple stories within that
yeah,
second episode, but it was way more story based. I did
yeah.
not,
Because the first episode was the transition to the new
yeah,
season
it
because
was,
they're saying they wanted to be a continuous from the other stuff, but still brand new at the same time.
yeah.
That's why
And it,
they can't
Yeah,
have
it
talk.
was all over the place. Like it
Yeah,
was a lot of stuff going on. And again, I do, they're trying to start like five different paths at once so they can all converge, yada yada yada. But I was just like, man, a lot of this feels a little rushed. Um, I I don't I think I barely I try to have an ear to like pop culture and stuff,
mhm.
but I thought the whole issue with the whole we have like a lot I guess I should start with that. We have some returning characters. Obviously, we have Charlie Cox as Daredevil. We have Vincent D'Onofrio, which is like one of my top actors. I don't know why he's not in more movies. He's just awesome to me, or at least
They
mainstream movies.
they
I would.
say, yeah, they say he's over top in Law and Order.
Yeah, yeah, man.
A little over the
That's
top
my
in
guy
there.
Gorham. That's my guy Gorham. Law and Order Criminal Intent is my shit. But we also have what's her girl's name? Deborah Ann as Karen Page. She's back. Of course, John Barenthal is back. And Eldon Henson as Foggy. I remember it being kind of a big deal about Deborah not coming back. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's
Uh,
really hard. People are pulling for her character to come back." I thought she wasn't coming back, and even when I saw her like in the first episode, I thought it was a different actress. I thought, "Oh, they're doing like still away shots. Like they're far away. You can clearly
yeah.
see
No, it
Foggy.
was her. It was
It
her.
was her." And then they ended up killing Foggy.
Yeah. It's
Like,
like I said, they wanted to make this brand new, but make it sure that you knew it was a continuance as well from the
yeah,
last
yeah.
season. So that's how they started off like that. Now, Karen's in San Francisco apparently.
Yeah, so
So
she may
that's
not even appear even a lot.
much, right?
Yeah, but my whole thing was, wow. So you just go ahead and kill Foggy like he was, everybody, we always have those lovable sidekicks, but man,
Yeah. But I kind of like a lot of people saw that coming.
oh really?
Yeah.
I
I
thought
looked
that,
at some reviews and stuff. They're like, oh, the thing we knew was going to happen, or the tragedy we
ah,
knew, the
okay.
tragedy we expected.
Okay. Well, maybe it was always a part of his story. I don't know. I thought she was gonna get it.
Mm,
I thought Deborah was gonna die, and Foggy was just gonna be left up to pick the pieces up to help his friend. But
yeah.
anyways, nope, that doesn't happen. Foggy is dead, and then they go a year later.
Yeah. But
And I
don't
guess
forget, like,
before that,
yeah,
yeah,
we talk about the fight scene,
yeah, yeah, exactly. This assassin, man.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Desperado. The guy with the many knives. It's like, what?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have unlimited knives? He went through a whole 35-minute fight scene.
Yeah.
And he's just murking people everywhere he goes.
I
Just
know, right? This guy just using anything and shit. Broken glass, all that.
yeah, yeah. I did enjoy that. I mean, we should even talk about the bar scene because they do set
Yeah.
up some characters here.
Yeah, it was another one shot fight scene too.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Um, I do not. Do you have a list of some characters?
Yeah, what you looking for?
Okay. So we do have the bar scene, at least before Foggy, hits it. So we are introduced to a retired police officer
Well,
named
he
Cherry,
yeah, he
right?
was yeah, he was in the
He
other
was in
season.
the, he
Yeah.
was in, okay, please remind me because I
Yeah.
barely remember anything about Daredevil
Yeah.
96.
I
Okay.
believe him and the female cop that was with him, they were from the other seasons. But
Okay.
we are introduced to Nikki or Kristen McDuffie, which is the one Foggy's talking to, kind of,
Okay.
you
She
know.
reminds me of the EST. I was like, she remind me. I'm looking at her. I'm like, she that smile, like that big long smile.
Right?
I was like, who? I was like, that's the EST.
Let's
Anyways,
see what
but yeah, and he ends up. I will say the Daredevil ends up, and first, Charlie gets a call from one of his clients. It seems like, which is Barry. It seems like he's a witness to something, and he's just trying
me.
to hide him.
Yeah. Me Foggy
Uh,
got the call. Yeah.
Foggy, I'm sorry. Yes, Foggy got the call. And obviously, he made it a point to say, I wasn't trying to bring you back to that costume. Like,
Yeah.
at this point, did he already give it up? Or was it just like, I didn't want to inconvenience a good moment?
But maybe that I didn't want to inconvenience a good moment because he hadn't given up yet. That's
Okay,
why
okay.
he straight to put the suit on like nothing.
Yeah,
So I think
okay.
it was just like didn't want to do it as much maybe or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, and
They were showing that their law firm is like a successful law firm now and
mm-hmm.
all that.
Yeah,
And but yeah, so he gets that call from Barry, say that someone's after him. He's telling him to calm down, and like you say, he told him, "I didn't want to bring you in this, but he's at my apartment, but he should be fine." So it's a whole setup the whole time, basically to get Daredevil to go that way, but to actually get Foggy. So, but he was too
yeah.
late.
Yeah, and so like you say, the fight scene is wild. I didn't really at first recognize what the assassin was doing. I was like, is that motherfucker? Oh my God, he's throwing these mini knives, and he
Yeah.
is just.
And you know it's Bullseye, right?
I did not know that was
Yeah.
Bullseye.
Yeah, he was from last season three of
Okay,
that
so
because he
thank
he
you.
was he
Mm.
was the fake
Sorry,
Daredevil.
sorry, I
Yeah.
had to adjust. I was becoming black man. Uh,
Yeah.
but go
No,
ahead.
but yeah, what's his name? Damn.
You said Bullseye. Are you trying to
Yeah.
figure out the
No,
actor?
Wilson Fisk. He
Oh.
he hired Bullseye to be a fake Daredevil in season three, to make him look bad.
Mm,
So he was a
okay.
ball part of it. Yeah.
Man, see, I don't even think I saw season three of Daredevil. I only remember the first two seasons, but maybe
Yeah.
I did. Again, it's been so long ago. Every
Yeah,
series
it
starts
ended.
new again.
It ended because Bullseye got caught, but they were doing surgery in his spine, and according to the comics, it's kind of like adamantium type. And
Mm,
that's why when he got thrown off the roof, they say that's probably why he
he
didn't die.
survived.
Yeah,
Okay. Ah, that makes okay.
yeah.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Okay, cool, cool. And obviously, like we said, Foggy ends up taking a hit. It's 1 year later, and
It was cool too how during the fight he's listening to the heartbeat and stuff, of Foggy's heartbeat during the whole
yes, yes.
fight and stuff. And then when it goes, that's when he starts screaming,
I
"Why?"
also I also like the part of the fight when, after it was like he was lighting him up with them knives. Again, it
Yeah,
reminded me of Desperado. Like, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? He had like
yeah,
on the left side, some on the back. It was
yeah.
like, dude, and like Daredevil, like he has super senses. He don't got no super healing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hell no.
Nothing like that. Like, bro, like like that was one of my issues, but I can let go. A year later, I get, but my God, we're probably gonna have a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah,
And I really would love,
because they're saying of the whole year he wasn't Daredevil. He stopped being
oh yeah, that
Daredevil.
is
You know what I
true.
mean? So it probably won't be too
Yeah.
many flashbacks. I think that was the whole setup for this season. Was that
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
you
year
may be right
later
on that. Man,
now?
I want to see the gritty. I want to see the recovery. I want to see addicted to painkillers and him.
Damn.
I want to see him going to
I mean,
work.
if you didn't see that
Like,
in the
how you
first three
going to
seasons,
work? Like,
you
what I'm
didn't see
saying?
that. You didn't see that the first three seasons.
Yeah, 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 that is true.
But
So
I mean, he was working with his boy at that time before he
yeah,
found out
yeah,
about it. But and he was having little injuries here and there. He was tripping on them, but no,
yeah.
but yeah, but now not, he don't have to do that. It was just that from that last fight, he recovered, and now he's doing it. He's working with Kristen McDuffie now.
Mm-hmm.
They got their own thing going. It's working. Like you said, this girl moved to
Moved with
Flo
his firm.
Cat, right? And then what's her name? Moved to San
Yeah, San
Francisco.
Francisco.
You know,
And
so
now Cherry is their private investor. His name is Cherry, right? I just
yeah,
remember his
Cherry.
first name.
Because at the end of the fight, he ended up catching
Yes.
Daredevil with his mask off and realized it was him the whole time.
Yes, which yeah, that was pretty cool. Now he has another partner,
Right.
and I guess should we talk about Fisk at this point? That was and see as much as I definitely enjoyed the second episode way better than the first. It's a lot of time going past.
Yeah.
For these first episodes, like boom, okay, okay, we should talk about Kingpin because I mean, even though
Yeah,
he
of
does
course.
play a part in the second episode, his story in these first two is rather brief. Um,
Yeah, but he's still in it more than he was in the other.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
but yeah, because this is after the Echo series as well. Did you ever watch that series?
No, no. So
Yeah.
please explain what's
No,
going
but
on.
just at the end, he had the girl working for her who couldn't hear. But at the end, she realized that, that he was bad, I guess, and she ends up shooting him in the face.
Okay.
So that's what he was out. He was recovering from that. And you see, there's a scar on his face and everything.
Mm-hmm.
While he was recovering, his wife, Vanessa, took over and started running the business.
Yes.
So that's why when he came back into that room, that was the first time anyone's seen him in a long time, including his wife.
Yes. And
You
who
know,
is she sleeping with there?
they haven't said. They said the name,
Oh, okay.
but they
I
didn't
thought
say
it
who.
was the first guy. I thought it was the guy who was like, fuck these deals that we have in negotiation.
Nah,
I want
no.
y'all to pay me. I thought that was him. I was like,
There's someone named Adam.
Okay, okay. So we know if anybody at that table was named Adam or we don't?
No, no, we don't. I don't think
Okay,
we
okay,
met.
cool,
I
cool.
don't think we met Adam. I don't know if we ever will meet Adam.
Okay, okay,
You know,
cool, cool, cool.
I watched a review and they were kind of making fun of it. Oh, the Adam we know is Adam Warlock. So we're gonna say it's Adam Warlock.
Yeah, okay. That's hilarious.
They just
Okay,
kept
cool,
showing him
cool,
flying
cool.
and shit. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. All right, cool. So obviously he's back. She kind of feels some type of way because he's like you said, he's been recovering, he's been running things, and now he's like, let's go to the contingency plan. And the
Yeah,
contingency plan, he says we already have the 25,000 signatures.
yeah, because
And
this that started in Echo as well. Him and
mhm.
the idea of him becoming mayor.
Yes. Now I do remember some part of Daredevil when he came out into the spotlight, like, I guess more so a philanthropist, like, hey, I was trying to do things behind the scenes, but this and obviously, we see this same story portrayed, and I don't want to make a big deal out of this, but it is a lot of things of how the people see Fisk, of how what's going on now. Hint, hint. But let's be real. This has happened in probably every type of superhero movie or even just regular movie where the villain gets so powerful they try to run for political office. Like we
Yeah,
have seen this before. It's just very polarizing now.
yeah.
And people
Lex,
are like,
then Lex Luthor do that too. Yeah,
Exactly. And people are like, this can fix things. And people are like, really? He's a criminal. I cannot believe why people would consider. And all of a sudden, he's mayor. I didn't
yeah.
like that at all. I wanted to see at least a little bit. I'm that type of viewer. Like, I like that nitty gritty. Like, hey, like, at least do one 10-minute debate where we see you and other candidates or you and one.
Well, they were purposely saying these candidates were trash.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
when they talked about them, so it's like, why do you want to meet him?
yeah. I mean,
It
yeah,
was like it
that's
was almost a
basically.
given he was going to win. You know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
that's basically really how they made. I just feel like there was something there. Like it could have spanned it through a couple of episodes. We didn't need to see
I
him
don't.
become mayor in the second
I
episode.
think that would have dragged it out.
Yeah, just like I know for a fact, like even with this Daredevil born again overarching story, I know what third episode he's going to be Daredevil again. And that's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's way too like okay, like we know time. You're telling us as viewers
yeah.
time has passed. But in order for us to connect with you as the audience, as like okay, we feel you, it does need to feel like a couple episodes, especially because
I feel that when it comes to Daredevil,
yeah.
yes,
But even
but
some of these other main characters, I mean, like you know what they're going to be compared to, and it's not fair, but they're going to be compared to Penguin. And Penguin, you know what I'm saying? Penguin, for all it was worth, they took their time for 9, 8 episodes, with these characters. You know what I'm saying? And some of them ended up dying, and I was like,
well,
damn,
they're building
you
up the
know.
new character, like the girl partner with them. He got the girl that she set him up with, well, the
Hmm.
therapist. So those are the characters they're trying to build up. This
But
guy
yeah,
Kingpin's already been built up.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? So it's like they're not going to waste time on him right now. They're trying
Yeah.
to build the new characters up and start this new, thing, the new people, the new cast, and all that stuff. So that's why I'm like, with Wilson Fisk, I feel like they're not going to go too in depth right away
Hmm.
with him, but they are saying he is going to be way more part of the show. It's going to be basically him and Daredevil show.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I feel you on that. Because I don't know if people I don't know if people even watched Daredevils on Netflix. It's kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to say, well, you just need to go on Netflix to watch it. But you know what I'm saying? People aren't like that. People are
yeah, of
gonna be
course.
like, hey, I'm going to this
Yeah,
Daredevil.
yeah. If you
What the
start
hell is
fresh, yeah. If you
yeah,
start fresh from that Daredevil, then yeah, like even you
it,
might be a little lost because you didn't watch Echo.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So I'm
Because
saying
I
that's what
didn't
that was all built up already for this layer. So
yeah.
you that was the build up that you
Yeah,
were
and
looking
you know
for.
what? I do now remember trailers of Echo with
Yeah.
Kingpin in the background, but I totally forgot that he was even in that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is,
He
yeah.
had like the old school white suit with the Hawaiian underneath. They were like
Mm-hmm.
he had the cane, I think, and everything. They're talking about
Mm-hmm.
that.
Okay, so obviously William Fisk ends up becoming mayor. I thought he was gonna get rid of old black chick immediately when she was saying, "Oh, you need to do this." I've been in politics. I was like, "Oh, she's either gonna get killed or replaced today." But he's kept her on, and
But she
she
look
does.
like she kind of look like the mom from the Cosby Show.
Ah, okay, okay, I can see it a little bit. I can see it a little bit.
And
Uh,
then did you know the young dude that was like all on fist nuts at the
no, who is that?
that's Galdafini's son.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
I could totally see that now.
yeah.
What's so funny to me is he just looks like one of those type of like, kiss ass politician, like young people, like, you
Yeah.
hate his face, I hate his face. Anyways,
But then
uh,
it's like you need someone like
yeah,
that. Like,
exactly. He
especially
has
him.
this
You need that
mix of
young guy on the right. Exactly.
they're saying thick fist, what is it? Fisk can fix.
Yeah, yeah. Fist can fix it or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, Fisk can
Fist
fix.
can fix.
And he basically has his ear down, ear to the ground to how, it is even now. People like quick
Yeah.
hits, social media, shorts, all of that stuff, trending. People think he's a badass. People think he's a, whatever they think of Fisk. And we also should briefly mention the BB recording because she does end up coming and talking to
Yeah.
Fisk about
And
the
then
commissioner.
she is the granddaughter of the man from the first couple seasons that worked with Karen, the old
Yes.
black man. Yeah, so she's his granddaughter.
Yeah. So there seems to be a lot of connections going on, but at least the main focus of, or at least most of the story in the episode two is about the White Tiger. Or at least we find out who
Yeah,
the White
yeah.
Tiger is.
Because when Kingpin won the mayor, he like said he's gonna stop with the vigilantes, mentions Punisher, Daredevil, even
Hmm.
Spider-Man. That was like one of he mentioned Spider-Man for the first
Yeah.
time. You
Yeah.
know, because
Definitely.
he's a big villain in the Spider-Man universe, technically. They just never used him.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't even remember
Yeah.
White Tiger. That's why I was like, who the hell is this
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah, no, this is apparently within this last year, while there was no Daredevil, he took it upon himself because there's no Daredevil. Like someone's got
Yeah.
to do it, you know. So he's grown apart apparently from his wife because he's doing this stuff. But apparently there's an amulet that he has with a suit that gives him powers.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of Moon Knight. That's pretty much
Right.
out there. It's just like amulets everywhere. Can I get one of
I'm
those?
saying shit.
Like, come on now. Like, man, I wish what's that movie where the kids find like that that movie we always talk about where they find some like fucking meteor that hits
Mm.
somewhere and they all start touching and then they have like telekinesis and they all end up killing each other at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. I forgot what it's called. Yeah.
Chronicle.
Chronicle,
Fucking crazy movie. That's what it would be like. But we love each other. We love each other.
yeah.
Anyways, so yes, he ends up. I thought the train scene was probably the most realistic fight scene ever. Instead of you like boom, 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 boom,
Yeah, right.
a lot of grabbing, a lot of tackling, a lot of taking to the ground because he comes down. He's just trying to go home, it seems, and
Yeah.
he does what he feels like what most people would
Yeah,
consider
he's
not,
two people beating somebody up, whether they're maybe robbing them. They're
yeah,
not they're not,
exactly.
saying
And
they're cops or anything. So
yeah, exactly. He goes over and he does talk. It's not like he doesn't talk. It's not like he
yeah,
doesn't
he
say,
says
"Hey,
leave them
stop
alone,
it." Yeah, this doesn't look friendly and all that stuff. So they could have definitely mentioned,
Yeah, they're like keep out of it or some shit. It's not
yeah,
your business or some shit. They didn't say they were police or nothing. So
exactly. So they end up saving the guy. Well, he ends up saving the guy, but in the process of the tussle, one of the police officers gets a header, basically dies, and then that is when the other guy reveals that he is NYPD. And as the viewer, you like already some it's the NYPD.
yeah,
Some corruption is going down.
yeah, yeah.
Basically. And the guy, Charlie just happens to be there. That's why I said Charlie Cox. Like,
Yeah.
what's his Matt.
Matt, yeah.
Matt just happens to be at the precinct where they're putting hands on this guy. He's
And
the
he could
one.
hear them
Yes,
abusing him in there and shit.
yes,
Apparently that actor died in real life.
yes. I heard. I did
Yeah.
see the RIP
There,
tragedy. Do you by any chance know how?
I'd say cancer or something like
Okay.
that.
All right. Cool. Cool.
It
Cool.
was an illness, yeah.
Yeah. And so he defends him. Obviously, he defends her with no money. First of all, it's so funny because the guy's like, "You a public defender?" I'm like. Bitch, you already told Charlie after again, Charlie, you already told Matt after Matt said, no, I have my own practice, how you can't afford him. And if he was a public defender, bitch, like, that's all you can afford.
Right. Like what the hell?
He killed me with that. But obviously, Charlie believes him because he's testing his heart rate, but he does recognize that he is lying.
About something,
It's
right?
about something. And I think that was the white tiger.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
think
exactly
that's
what
what
it
that's
was.
supposed to
Because
be.
he sends what's his name, Cherry, to investigate. So he goes to the girl's house, the wife, their house, meets the wife who basically said they're not in a good place right now, and but she's talking to the one lawyer. Cherry searches and finds the white tiger suit.
Yeah. Now, may I ask, does the wife know?
Yeah, I'm assuming so that she doesn't like
Okay.
that he's doing that. That he's
Come
either
on
going
now.
out at
Come
night.
on, wife. I get mad if I had an ambulance. I'd be like, Patty, these
But
streets
some people
need me.
that your wife needs you.
Yeah, I know. I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? With
And they
great
were
power,
Puerto Rican. I'm not.
I know. Like with great power comes great responsibility. Like I'm like, Patty, I got this thing open.
with great marriage. No.
But yeah, so Charlie does confront him, and it is kind of like a moment where obviously he doesn't know Charlie is Daredevil, but it's kind of like a
Of course.
talking back to him, hero to hero moment. Like
Yeah.
Daredevil stepped out, the people need me.
And
So what? It's cool if the people know, let them know.
yeah, and apparently the prosecutor attorney is like some big attorney that everybody
Yes.
knows. Apparently buddies with the judge because when the judge actually sides with Matt Murdock about not bringing in the suit or nothing, he
Which
calls him by his first name. Like, come on, Chuck. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, which is
uh,
a really big deal because
yeah,
and even Cherry said when they were having a conversation with his wife, like, bro, like once a cop is killed or any politician or any, even a civilian
yeah,
to that matter, the machine gets going and either you can get out the way or get ran over. And this, sometimes innocent people go to jail because the people want an explanation and they don't want to wait.
right.
They want it like within less than 60 days. We need to find this person. Sometimes not even that. People get fired after 60 days plus out here in these streets. Uh, but Charlie, Matt, sorry.
Yeah, you
I'll
kept
get
calling.
out.
It's like you kept
Yeah,
calling Karen Deborah earlier
yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly. I will definitely get it down. This is the first review. So, but Matt decides to follow and listen to one of the cops. And basically, what he finds out is they have an address on what he seems because they can't find the witness. They can't find the guy that
It was
basically,
getting beat up. Yeah, that
yeah,
ran out.
Hector saved. And so Matt ends up locating him. Matt ends up locating him in an apartment. And obviously, it is kind of weird when a blind lawyer comes to your crib when you're
Right.
trying to hide out, and say you got 20 minutes or 20, not even 20 minutes, 20 seconds because they're coming for you. And he does escape basically,
Yeah,
but
he's at the back and Matt stays.
yeah, Matt stays. Now this was pretty shocking to me. I thought the police would be smarter. I thought, they can be like, you know what, the whole weight of the NYPD is just going to come down on you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to handle this. Even if we do end up killing you, it ain't going to be like this because clearly you're Hector's lawyer. No, they beat the shit
No, no, yeah. He's blind. That's what they're
and
like. Oh,
he's
he's blind.
blind.
He can't see us, so
You
he can't
think
point us out. That's what they're saying probably, but
do
that's
I?
fucked up. You're beating up a blind man.
Yeah, oh my God, they beat
You're
this man
cops beating
sense.
up a blind man.
And they were like, oh, we finna take care of this. So it wasn't even just about the ass whooping, because that's what I
Yeah.
was like.
Dude, they're about to shoot him.
Yeah, and boom. Then, obviously the uh the Daredevil comes out and Charlie almost kills them. I mean, he literally for
Yeah,
that other dude that he slammed on the floor, his face kind of, I mean, I don't even
I
know if
think
that guy's alive. I'm gonna
I
be,
kept saying I think one of them might be dead.
yeah, yeah,
They
you
said I
know.
broke the arm. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that is, obviously they are straight up telling us OG Daredevil fans, particularly you, that we ain't forgot about you. So
Damn right. Everybody
it's
was like,
going.
it'll be on Disney. How the fight scene's gonna be on Disney. It's not gonna
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna see. I mean, for me, I mean, as long as the violence is warranted, like that scene was, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I don't want I don't want episode 3 opening up back in his Daredevil costume. He's just beating up a group of bad guys just
Nah,
for
I
the
think they
badassery.
never. I mean, they never
Like,
did it like that. There was
yeah.
always reasons for the violence and stuff.
Yeah, but
But
for the most. Yeah, I'm Tom. Did we miss on anything else? I know we probably got maybe 10, 15 minutes left. I just don't. I mean, I want to try to make sure we hit at least all the new characters. Obviously, like uh, yeah, we even talked about Fisk's wife.
Vanessa. Yeah.
Yeah, Vanessa. We talked about her
But the
briefly.
the scene at the end, that fight to cops or whatever, that when they were fighting at the end, one of them had a Punisher tattoo.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting. I wonder what that.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means at all?
Not
I'm
really.
just
I
curious.
just saw it. I mean, the Punisher gonna be here.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else in
Yeah, that was the main characters looking out. The only other guy we probably didn't mention we didn't have to was like this is number two guy,
Oh
Buck.
yeah, that guy's
Yeah,
clearly doing. I mean, he's kind of like a henchman now. We
right.
have to see where he kind of goes. Um,
And then
oh,
Fizz does talk to BB Erwick, and
yes.
she starts asking these questions, which makes him think, and she's like, I like her. You know?
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, that does make him kind of subtly threaten the commissioner to stay on because the
Yes,
commissioner's about to
that's
leave.
what we forgot. Yeah,
Yeah, the commissioner's about
yeah.
to leave, which means a whole bunch of cops are going to go with him in protest. And I guess he found out the commissioner had a child out of wedlock.
Hmm.
And so basically, subtly showed him the picture. He would stay on. And also, I guess we should briefly, I mean, we did mention this that Matt does have a love interest now,
Right,
which is the therapist. And
right.
it does kind of tie to the end of episode 2 because um, she is actually
Doing couples
Yeah,
therapy
yeah.
for
She's
Fisk and his
actually,
wife. Yeah,
yes, yes. Yeah, I was trying to figure out why I was
yeah.
like, Biscuit and his wife are her clients now, but I didn't know. And as far as reverse for her, they're her
Right.
patients now. I guess.
Yeah, basically couples therapy. Yeah.
Yeah, couples therapy. So that is interesting. We're gonna see how that goes. So yeah, I'm very interested. Let me know if yeah,
Because it was kind of weird when she was doing her book signing. It was like that young guy who was like,
yes.
"How can I get a hold of you?" or something. And gave her a card. So when they were like, "Oh, I got to cancel the date," I thought it was gonna. They made
I
it seem
thought it
like
was
it was
going to
gonna
be
be
him
him,
too.
and it was gonna be something maybe off with him or something like that. But no,
Yeah.
they
And
showed
then when it was Fifth Boy, I thought
right.
it was like I was like, damn, they're really trying to get close to Matt because they
Yeah,
already been scoping him out, but it's not that at all. It's
no,
it's therapy. So
yeah,
maybe they may not even know that Matt is with her,
no.
which is Fist dropped the ball on that one.
Maybe. I mean,
You
he'll
know,
probably eventually find out or
yeah,
realize it.
yeah, yeah, definitely,
Because you
definitely.
would think he would like, oh, I'm going to see a therapist. Let me do my background on that
Yeah,
therapist.
exactly. So
But
maybe
at the
he,
same time, he's not what he used to be either. He's a little off ever
yes,
since the Echo. So you see, he's got a little twitch with his hands, and
yeah, that
he's
is
got the.
true.
So that's why he's going into this. Like, he's not what he was, definitely.
Yeah. One thing I will say is I am very, very, I guess I've always been interested in Delfino's adaptation of Fisk because when we see Fisk in Spider-Man, we're looking at a very confident man that doesn't even hesitate to talk like Vincent Delfino's adaptation. It almost
Mm.
seems like Fisk is on a spectrum a little bit in Daredevil. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for this confidence, and he did show confidence in that meeting with the commissioner. But I'm
Yeah, yeah.
waiting for this do you remember old boy who was the original Fisk, the black dude from the movie Green Mile. Wasn't that him?
No, Michael Clark Duncan. Yeah,
Yeah, Mike. No, was he? Wasn't. Was he Mike Clark Dunn in Green Mile? Anyways,
yeah, that was him, right? That was his name.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Anyways, Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin, obviously, other than the outrage that he was black, it was just a sort of swagger he
yeah,
had. Not only was he this big dude, he was huge in real life.
yeah.
He just had this swagger. He come with a cigar. And I'm waiting for that. You know what I'm saying? Now that could be a slow burn. I'm hoping that I get it, but this like,
Yeah.
Ito, I understand what I'm just like.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they're doing this on purpose because he got shot in the face.
Okay, okay,
You know what I mean? It's like
okay,
he's recovered, his recovery. That's
okay.
why he's all twitchy and shit. His hands, you could
Yeah.
see like this was a recovery thing. That's what I'm taking it as
Okay,
because
well,
he
cool,
was a much
cool.
more confident person in the first three seasons.
Yeah, yeah. And
Definitely.
again, I haven't seen them, and nor do I even have time to go back
Right.
to watch this last three. But
I would say at least check out Echo.
at least check out Echo. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll check. Okay, cool,
Like it
cool.
wasn't like the best, but it was good enough, and I think you would enjoy it for what it is.
All right, cool, cool. All right, man. Yeah, I enjoyed this. Man, I did want to talk to you about something random, but I'll talk to you after I push stop because this is, usually I don't mind us talking about anything around this time, but this just seems so random. It wouldn't be tied
Like,
to.
huh?
Yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And this is Ito,
We are the
the
Carbon
carbonation
Conversation.
conversation. Happy New Beer.
Don't drink and drive.
Drinking vibe.
Peace.